What do I do, Lord?
Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
This is their plan, people. These are demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay?
It's what the Republic also said as well.
But you listen to that right there. You won't listen to people who live on Earth and talk sense to you, but you'll listen to this crazy shit right here. Maybe that's how people need to talk to you. Maybe I need to talk to you like him, like a wrestler. Maybe I need to tell you, why are you listening to this fucking lunatic when there's people here on Earth that are talking to you sense? Believe. Help feed our dogs.
But Mojo's and Pixie's pictures like they need food.
Forget watching the show or supporting us. Our puppies need food. As you're walking away, you're gonna put on those headphones. You're gonna listen. You're gonna be like, I can't let those dogs starve.
Yes.
I got to go back.
They just keep seeing Pixie and Mojo's little faces.
Yes, yes. And how's that, baby? and when you do, you can subscribe in many ways. I recommend using the Amazon account that you have, not any kind of fancy Amazon Prime account, just Amazon account, because we have a plain old simple Amazon Pay button. Put your username in there, put your password in there, press enter. Oh shit, that's why Sebastian came back. Sebastian, rub the nipples right there. Yeah, that toasted goodness all over his. Oh, look at him. All over my body. Some of this foolishness needs to go away. Some of it I would be proud to see disappear. I would be happy to see disappear. Now, let me go ahead and talk about my boy. My boy, Alex Jones here. I have to say, usually it's not a good day when Alex Jones gets brought up in the news. Usually I get angry because here's the thing about Alex, man. Alex Jones, now, as people know, for a couple of years, I think, maybe even 3, I shared a studio with Alex down at Access Television. I would be coming in to do my show after he's finished doing his Infowars show. That also had his humble roots at Access Television. It's funny. It's funny because y'all know you know, as he was coming up, and some of you still know him today. You know him as the guy the man behind such conspiracy theories as parallel universes, gay bombs, and this.
One time at a pizza place, when I was covering spider goats, they're creating aliens on this planet. Human-animal chimeras are gestating, just like an alien, in the uterus, in utero.
Yes. For a lot of people, this is the man that's leading the new American Revolution.
Hard-hitting journalism right there.
The man, this is who y'all listen to. This is your leader. Okay. All right. The man is talking about spider people and lizard monkeys and pig humans gestating in utero, as he says. That was funny for a while. It's almost like a comedic reboot of the X-Files, if you listen to it. But while it sounds funny when you listen to that Alex Jones, the other Alex Jones, he's a sinister person, man. He's a sinister person. This is the guy that, while he may seem funny to some people, his conspiracy theories, he's also proven very quickly to be extremely dangerous. The certain conspiracies that he spews out there, especially the ones that are centered around mass shootings. Now, this is a guy that talked about, went in and always finds a conspiracy with something, no matter how tragic the situation is. Well, you're saying, Corey, that's what conspiracy theorists do. But the effects of that are extremely harmful. Take, for example, Parkland, the Parkland shootings. That's where 17 people were killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. That's where all the kids who now are getting targeted by other conservatives and other advocates of gun ownership. You know, all these people are getting turned on against for simply having a voice. And it doesn't help that you have somebody like Alex Jones doing that. Alex Jones not only did that, but he's also just his website Infowars. Infowars.com is just straight up just lying about shit too. When it comes to the Parkland shootings, he made his site made this whole thing up. Where when I say made it up, they just pointed out a random picture on the internet where they tried to lay out that the shooter wore an anti-fascist shirt, Antifa. You know, the people that go to these rallies and go up against the racists and the alt-right people and whatnot. So they pulled this picture up off the internet and said that this guy, Nicholas Cruz, is the shooter. They said this guy was Nicholas Cruz and that he was wearing an Antifa t-shirt, which that is not. And that's not even Nicholas Cruz. You go down, you see a clear difference between Nicholas Cruz and the man in this picture. And it's easy to go.
Yeah, obviously. They don't even look like each
They
other.
don't even look like each other.
No, not at all.
Him and this man. This man is suing them right now
Good.
He should, yeah.
for being put in here. Let me see here. Yeah, I wish I could find this guy's name, but that is not the guy right there. And furthermore, and you know, and they just lie like you can't go on the internet and find this out yourself. You don't have to go deep on the internet. Just go to Snopes. I have so many people that argue with people about conspiracy theories and just straight out stupid ass stories when you can just simply go to Snopes.com and look up the truth. Shit, if you're pregnant, you can go to Snopes.com to see if that's the daddy. You go to Snopes.com, they'll tell you, hell no, I ain't the daddy. What the fuck is wrong with you? The Sandy Hook shootings, where not only teachers died, but children as old or as young as 5 years old was shot and killed. And this asshole is continuously going out and putting out this conspiracy theories. It's a straight out lie that the whole thing was a hoax. The whole thing was just made up to have people have their gun rights taken away. And what happens in effect with that is that you get crazy people like this. I'm looking at Routers right now, Routers.com. This woman is,
Of course, it's Florida.
Of course, it's Florida. Goddamn, Florida.
Goddamn.
Wow, that alligator story don't seem so bad now. This is Lucy Richards, 57 years old. She was one of these conspiracy theorists who listened to people saying that Sandy Hook was a hoax, and she went out and started giving death threats to one of the parents, people who were grieving. People who were grieving, man. To me, I don't think she got enough time. I think a judge who said he didn't have sympathy on her gave her like 5 months in prison.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it, man. You know, these people are sick, and they're only being encouraged to do dangerous things like stalk people, people who are suffering, people who have lost innocent children, because for some reason, they're just so paranoid and delusional that they need a leader to confirm some of the thoughts that they have. It's sad, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's giving voice to the people that don't have voices. He's rallying people who possibly aren't as strong-minded and can't think for themselves, so they look for somebody to lead for them, you know, and you got those people, man, unfortunately. And you got these guys out here just spitting this rhetoric, man.
Yeah. These people, you know, besides the voices in their head, they need somebody else to just confirm it. And you know, and here's the problem. You know, this stuff has been allowed on prominent platforms to exist, and be spread out on massive levels. So I was extremely happy today. And I normally I don't take glee in people losing their livelihood, which this man has not, but hopefully it may be on his way. At least it's the way he earns his livelihood, by putting people in danger, exploiting the misery of people. This is an article from NPR. You can see it everywhere, though. This man lost they're taking away his videos. He's lost most of his platform on YouTube, Apple, and Facebook, where they say they banned Infowars, and which they say they're doing a mega purge of his content. And that's because they finally have looked at this as contributing to hate speech. They've seen this now as contributing to endangering the lives of other people. They have been criticized this for so long, and for so many years, Alex Jones has hid behind that argument of free speech, which people for years would, when you say that, oh, you're un-American if you go against free speech. Now people are finally called bullshit. And I tell you what's real bullshit. A lot of these people, it's a shame that it takes a lot of people to threaten a business, an image of a business, for this to happen. Not just good nature or good humanity. No, it took years for people to say, this motherfucking man is foul. he needs to go.
Yeah, either that or they finally hired somebody who is one of the demographics that he's talking about of a power to actually say this guy has to go.
Yeah,
maybe they finally hired somebody in a position,
After
to actually do something about it. Who he's talking about?
Yeah, this man here, Alex Jones, his business is worth millions, and that is what's so sickening about this. That's why I look at this and I'm glad his world is caving in on his ass. And what I love about this the most about Alex Jones is that while his world is crumbling, he's standing on one piece of land and he has one way to fall. And either one of those ways are no good. There's no way for him to look good coming out of this. Because with Alex Jones, he has two things here. At best, you really are a paranoid, delusional nutcase who has been proven to be a risk to society. Or at worst, you really are a greedy, egocentrical piece of shit and a phony. I mean, Alex Jones is
this like con artist that knows how to exploit these weak-minded people.
Yeah.
That's what makes him a piece of shit.
And that's what makes it even more disgusting. That it's like, even if he knows that this Sandy Hook thing is not this conspiracy theory he's coming up with, it is truly disgusting that we have to see some Fort Lauderdale woman threatening the family of, a family member who lost their kid.
Yeah. This man,
that's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's
this
really
guy
disgusting.
makes everything for money. You can see that. It's just...
and I'm gonna tell you about it. Like I said, listen, any day, this is not name dropping. If there's any time I will name drop, it's to see somebody being taken down. And I've known this man for a few years. I didn't know him that well. Like I said, I'll say it again, just to let you know, he sat with my family a couple of times. He, I used to talk to him about Star Wars and shit after the show. I mean, but at this point, I have to tell you, Alex Jones is probably the worst person I've had the pleasure of meeting. Alex Jones, he would get giddy because he liked movies. And we talk about Star Wars. And we talk about the government, and he would always get into like a little kid. He would act out. Oh yes, and in the military, they can come in any time, like the Empire, and take over anytime they want. We need a Luke somewhere, or somehow we need a what's Alex Jones in the movie?
Anakin, what?
And we need a Obi-Wan, someone to save us. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. That's when I thought he was kind of a little bit off. That's when I thought he was a little bit off. I was like, all right, but he was. Look, I would say this. I never thought that he was a guy that would be so indecent as to like I said, sink as low as he did. And I do think it's some kind of Star Wars Anakin Skywalker shit that's going on. And I'll tell you the comparison here. I think the dark side got him. The dark side being what gets a lot of people. His fame and his fortune.
Yeah.
This is a guy that got big, and sometimes you get sucked into it and you just become blindsided from reality. You don't see reality anymore. And this is a guy that was being fed, his ego and his bank account being fed by this base that he has, these followers that he has, and he just kept going darker and darker, giving them what they want without any real thought about the consequences, and to the point where he is corrupted enough. Because I'm gonna tell you something, he ain't that fucking crazy. He's not. You listen to me right now. I'm telling you, this dude is not that fucking crazy. Maybe a little bit, but aren't we all? If he wants to be a conspiracy theorist, that's fine, but he was never fucking evil like he is now. And I shouldn't say evil. Nobody's pure evil, but he is the most despicable person I've ever met. And I never thought I would say that about somebody that I actually had some good conversations with at one time. The thing about Alex Jones right now is that he put all this crazy shit out there, and now that his bank account is getting fucked with, all of a sudden, now I'm a performer. Now I'm an actor. Now that one time the custody of his kid was in jeopardy. This is NBC News, but in 2017, this was everywhere. Alex Jones told his legions of Infowars listeners that bogus stories about the U.S. government being behind the 9/11 attacks and about Hillary Clinton operating a pedophile ring out of a Washington D.C. joint, really known as which is what got the moniker of Pizzagate, which was insane too. He's really a performance artist. But the bullshit.
Fuck you.
No,
You can't say that now. That's some fucking load of shit right there, man.
On one end, oh, my lawyer says I'm a performance artist, but he'll get on this show and talk about, people, I am the real deal. I don't want to be called fake news.
Colonel Schaefer and countless other people and our great writers and researchers, are they actors? Are they fakes? We're the most bona fide, hardcore, real McCoy thing there is.
Fuck you, man. This guy's a piece of shit. He knows what he's doing. And anybody who tells you that the guy's just nuts or, oh, poor Alex Jones, maybe he's mentally off. No, this guy is just like any other greedy business cocksucker out there. He wants his money, and he don't want his money to be fucked up or fucked with. And now he can't. There's no good way for him to lean or fall. Either he's an asshole or he's mentally insane. And that mentally insane shit, don't fall for it.
Man, he's running his business all these years. You know, if he was mental problems, like, he won't be able to do that shit.
What were you saying?
No. I think it's fascinating that, you know, now he can come across as this, like, wrestling persona, right? Where, you know, some guy out there, although you and I might laugh about it, they'll be like, wait a minute, Undertaker doesn't come from the grave? Like, hold on. He enacting?
Yeah.
I can't work my mind around this right now.
The guy is a complete hypocrite in the worst way. He doesn't mind talking about other people's children and putting the lives of these parents, these grieving parents at stake. All right, let's even take the danger out of it. You know, it's just how insensitive are you to just not let these people breathe and grieve for their children, 5-year-old, 7-year-old. And this asshole, I ran into him years ago. We have a theater here, the Alamo Lincoln. This is before the Alamo Lincoln was the Alamo. It was called Lincoln Village Theater. I was there one night watching a movie, and he was there. And I came up and I was like, Alex, what's going on, man? And he's like, good, man, good. You know, I'm just trying to lay low key. I'm like, oh, okay, what's okay, that's cool, man. I'm not gonna say your name too loud. Just come over to say hi. He's like, yeah, you know, I don't want to say anything too loud. You know, you know, I got family now, and I don't want anybody to know that I have a kid because I want my kid to be safe. You are a fucking dick, man. This is the man who's concerned about the welfare of his children, yet could give a shit less about others. But you know, he'll find things. This is what they do, people. They find things out of context, spin a story around them, and then sell you that one piece of time right there with a new narrative. With these parents, particularly this one in this video I'm about to show you, right now he's trying to backtrack and say, what I've said about Sandy Hook, you don't understand what I mean. It's not what I was saying. It's not what I meant. Yeah, it did. Because the evidence is right there, bitch. You know, there's a whole video where he's talking about how phony this is, and he goes through with a fine-tooth comb, taking bits and pieces of examples to show you how the whole thing was done with actors. He said these parents are actors.
To come to the microphone so we'll listen in. Okay. The Hook Elementary School shootings here in Connecticut.
Now, if you were listening to this, what this man did was he was kind of smiling, and he was ready to go on camera and talk about his child. And okay, that could be anything. Could you say he was laughing before that, and all of a sudden he took a deep breath like he's an actor? You could. That's what Alex Jones was saying about him.
Live, and he goes, oh. And maybe that's real. I'm sure it is.
You know, you see how he's making fun of this guy, or maybe the guy was kind of smiling, you know, as normal people do, and when he realized he had to go on, the thoughts just got to him, and all of a sudden it was hard to talk about. Anybody can spin a story around that. That's what conspiracy theorists do, and they will always win the argument because they have the benefit of being delusional. People will actually say, I'm working for the government. I was hired. I'm getting a check along with those Marvel checks. You know, I'm hired by the government to say this stuff. That's what they will say. You know, you won't listen to me or people who make sense, but you'll listen to this shit right here.
What do I do, Lord?
Destroy the child. corrupt them all.
This is their plan, people. These are demons. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders, okay?
It's what the Republic also said as well.
But you listen to that right there. You won't listen to people who live on Earth and talk sense to you, but you listen to this crazy shit right here. Maybe that's how people need to talk to you. Maybe I need to talk to you like him, like a wrestler. Maybe I need to tell you, why are you listening to this fucking lunatic when there's people here on Earth that are talking to you sense? Believe.
He looks
Sounds
like Hitler.
he's in a movie or something.
Yeah, and you got to get that underbite too whenever you talk. I'm sick and tired of this nonsense.
Some of these people who need the voice of someone as crazy as this guy, they'll go follow them. I mean, if you develop a fan base, whatever it is, people might ride and die with you to hell if you told them to.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of which, subscribe to doubletoasted.com. Become a follower. Become a subscriber. We're here almost every night.
You got some tank tops, t-shirts.
Yeah, get some tank tops and t-shirts. Show your dedication.
Well, I'm glad that, people are finally getting this together and trying to get his voice kind of out of these influential people out of their heads, because he's definitely a rotten apple in the bunch. But, I see this whole thing as a gift and a curse, right? Yeah. These social outlets and these sites, they're all privately owned. So on one hand, they have the power to keep haters and gatherers of haters and people who want to start and say crazy shit. They get to kick them out, which is cool. But on the other hand, these private sites and stuff, they have the power to promote whatever narrative that they want. So now if you get somebody who wants to kick some good old knowledge or sell merch from DT.com, whatever reason, that person could be poof, gone.
Hello, Mr. Hogg. My name is Rex Jones, and I want to make a public statement about you claiming to speak for my generation about guns.
Alex Jones challenges David Hogg to a gun debate. I thought I heard something like that going on. This is, people, this is... And I'm sad, man. I'm sad that his son is following in his footsteps.
It looks like his son looks crazy as him.
yeah. He's breeding. No, all I'm saying, people, please listen. And a lot of you don't want to, you won't. But I'm telling you, I've seen this man at a time when he was not this person. Fame and fortune has corrupted this man. He's gone down a hole to where this man makes millions, and it's a lot of people do that. You mean you got people out there who make enough money and they just can't stop. They do whatever it takes to make more, and that's what happened to this guy. And I think it's sad. It's really, wow, you put it right there. There's some sad Anakin Skywalker shit right here.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, although it's even more upsetting knowing that Apple and YouTube are doing this for ulterior gains or whatever they got going on. It's still a good step, right? Yeah. So again,
it's a step, and I can only hope that this takes a huge chunk out of his business to where, this man at least kind of returns to the shadow of himself.